Congress shall make no law abridging freedom of speech. Our First Amendment guarantees us the right to speak freely, but does that right have limits? Freedom of speech does not include the right to incite actions that would harm others, such as shouting fire in a crowded theater, and it excludes the right to make or distribute obscene materials, among a few other limitations. The American Bar Association says the First Amendment only limits government actors. That includes federal, state, and local. But private entities, such as social media giants like Facebook and Twitter, don't have to play by the same rules. Most recently, a number of social media platforms banned former President Donald Trump and some of his allies after the insurrection at the U.S. Capitol on January 6th.
Fight like hell.
The Pew Research Center says those media companies cited the belief that Trump's posts violated their terms of use and that his rhetoric could possibly incite more violence.
As a liberal, I may have been relieved when they took away President Trump's Twitter account at that particular moment. But Twitter could just as easily have been silencing somebody that I agree with, and so I really am uncomfortable with that precedent.
Republican leaders like Florida Governor Ron DeSantis say these Silicon Valley tech companies are limiting the freedom of speech of conservative Americans.
On the one hand, you've stopped the spread of the information, and that's, I guess, a good thing if it's dangerous lies, but it also reinforces the narrative for the people who believe it. And they say, well, look, we're onto the truth. It shows there's a cabal out there that's trying to silence us because they took away our Twitter accounts. So it makes them martyrs and it kind of intensifies their feelings.
The Associated Press reports that some Florida lawmakers are now taking action against big tech. Those proposals range from forcing social media platforms to give users a month's notice before their accounts are suspended or disabled, to allowing consumers to sue if they feel they've been treated unfairly. While it's uncertain how the state could gain the authority to act against these companies with a global reach, it does open up a national discussion of how internet companies are regulated in our country. It would take an act of Congress, which includes leaders in our House and Senate. And as of January, Democrats control both chambers and the White House. So, where does that leave believers of QAnon? In a blog post dated January 12th, Twitter says it began its strong enforcement action on potentially harmful online behavior by permanently suspending 70,000 accounts. The company says the accounts engaged in sharing harmful QAnon content at scale and were dedicated to the propagation of the conspiracy theory. Following the Capitol riots, Facebook released a statement saying it would take action consistent with its policy banning militarized social movements and the violence-inducing conspiracy theory QAnon. The crackdowns from these tech companies led QAnon followers to fringe websites where they could continue to share more misinformation without being banned. So, is QAnon something bigger private media companies will be able to continue to censor? NPR reports QAnon podcasts are available on Apple and Google's platforms, and some political commentators like Fox's Tucker Carlson, as well as some members of Congress, have defended the movement. For now, it appears the sharing of information about this conspiracy theory will continue. How long that lasts remains to be seen.